Hello, thank you for joining me. These videos are for August 2022 using a sidereal zodiac for both ascendants and moon signs. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the months generally speaking and see what's happening in the month of August 2022. Firstly, I use sidereal zodiac. So if you want to know in sidereal zodiac, which is different, it's like 23, 24 degrees behind the Western astrology. So if you wanted to find out how, what your ascendant or moon sign is, you can use a wonderful app, although it's quite complex, called Cosmic Insight. Put your details in and it tells you what your ascendant is and your moon sign. And then you can just watch along, watch both, ascendant for your path and moon for how it feels. I'm also very big on intentions and manifestations. So there are 3 dates in this month of August that you can do that. You can do it on the 5th of the month when moon is in Swati, and then 17th moon is in Ashwini. Swati is in Libra and Ashwini is in Aries, and then again at 31st of the month moon will be again back in Swati. So 3 opportunities to do these. The way I do them, I normally do it on white piece of paper, blue ink, and first of all say gratitude to the universe, and then I write in detail what I want. You've got to be specific, because if you want to say I want a job and then you just, that's it, you want to just like write it down and put it, it's not going to work. You have to put energy towards that. So your energy, what you put energy in is what you manifest. And you got to, so you want to write down what type of job, what sort of progress you want to have, what sort of training, what type of people you want to work with, and just be very specific, salary, location, how much you want to travel, all that kind of stuff. And then write it down and then thank the universe and then leave it in the northwest of your property. That's how I normally do it. So it's really nice to do that and just use very empowering words, because words are, like you say, can you spell that word for me? Spelling, put a spell on the universe. That's what you want to do, manifest really good things. And that's the reason why I always discourage people from using difficult words. You want to use empowering words, positive, abundant words. That's what my teacher always just say, just be abundant. So that will be the way to do it. So that's another thing to just bear in mind for the month. And so I wanted to just say, obviously, we've had since the 16th of July, we've had this opposition where Sun has been in Cancer, and Saturn retrograde has been in Capricorn since the 13th of July. So we have this opposition going on, which is quite difficult, but we're all going through it. So just be aware of yourself, be careful with your dad, and also just bear in mind that this is going to be difficult, but it's only till the 18th of the month, and then after that all will be good. But this is quite a time for governments and politicians and leaders. So we are just kind of disposing of the ones around the world. World is just purging all the people who are not leaders, who are not for the people. So that is what's really happening, and it's going to continue doing that. So watch out for some more happening this week and so forth. Well, it's probably till the 18th actually. So also Rahu, the whole of the month is going to be in Aries. That's the north node of the moon in Aries, and K2 is going to be, or south node will be in Libra. And then we have Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter is in Pisces retrograde, so both of them nice and strong in own sign. And we till the 11th, roughly about the 11th of the month, Mars will be in own sign, which is Aries. And what else we have? Sun obviously goes from the 18th, goes in own sign, Leo, so that will be amazing too. So these are the themes. So, but how we start the month for everyone is Mars, Rahu in Aries. Venus will be beginning of the month in Gemini, a friendly sign. Sun will be in Cancer, Saturn in Capricorn retrograde, Jupiter in Pisces retrograde, K2 Libra, Mercury in Leo, and Yeah, and there is also just want to just tell you about the it's obviously a 31-day month. So as I said, there's all these opportunities to you know, manifest things for yourself, etc. And but what I do with each of the ascendants as I do them, somebody did comment about yogas. What do yogas mean? So I'm just going to finish this video and I'll do a very short video on what yogas are in astrology. So I do apologize, but I do have videos. You can go and visit them and they give you much more information. So I'll do that in the next video. And obviously, if you know, you can just skip that bit. I'll put the time in the details below. Thank you very much. Okay, so what are yogas? Yogas are a combination when there's an influence between planets and houses. So normally, obviously, the most beneficial of the kind of yogas are when trinal and angle houses, or the lords of them. By lords, I mean by the lords, but lords are literally the planet that rules that house. There's a combination of them that have some form of influence for each other. So, for example, say if you have Mars. Mars is the first and eighth house ruler for, say, for Aries Ascendant. So when Mars is in conjunction with Jupiter, which rules the 9th and 12th house for Aries, they create this sambandha, this kind of like combination of first and 9th house. First house can be an angle or a trinal house. But for the sake of this, we're going to say it's an angle house coming in connection with the 9th house ruler. So in that case, they're creating a Raja Yoga, because an angle and the trinal house or lords, they've become combined. They can, but I know they rule 8th and 12th house too, but that doesn't matter, because 8th and 12th house, although they are difficult houses, but they don't break any yogas. Only breakage is when 6th house or 6th lord is in is in this combination. So in which case it breaks the yoga, and the fruits of that will come much later, because 6th house is a house that is like upachaya, they call it. It gets better with time. So we get to learn how to manage ourselves, how to deal with obstacles of life. Then you can get fruits from it, from your hard work. So basically, this is what happens. I always look at Raja Yogas, Dana Yogas as well, because these two, Dana Yoga is for wealth, and Raja Yoga is for success. Sorry, I think something happened with my internet then. Yeah, so I always look at those. So those are important. Dana yogas are very important for relationship, because 2nd house is family, 11th house is gain of something, gain of relationship, family, etc. And so trinal houses are 1st, 5, and 9th houses. Angles are 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th. So these are obviously very important auspicious houses, and any planets that rules them also becomes an auspicious planet, unless if they rule the 6th house, in which case the combination will not get many fruits. So and if you're lucky, that happens in your D1, which is your natal chart, or your D9, which is in astrology. Vedic astrology is very important. That really confirms the actual strength of all your planets. So if they repeat in that, then it means they're very, very successful yogas. And if they repeat in your D10, which is your career chart, then yes, fantastic. They continue those successes into that as well. So this is what I mean. But please look at my yoga. I have Raja Yoga and Dana Yoga videos. I sometimes also say Mahapurush Yoga. Mahapurush again is elevation, success, and accomplishment yoga as well. This is when a planet is a good planet for the ascendant. Say, for example, for Taurus ascendant, what happens is like Saturn rules their 9th and 10th house. So on its own, because it rules an angle and also a trinal house, 9th house and 10th house, if it goes in any house, it's going to, apart from the 6th house, or becomes involved with Venus, because Venus rules their 6th house. Then if it doesn't has a combination with them, but if it goes in any other house, Saturn on its own can create Raja Yoga for them. But if it's in their if Saturn happens to be in their in Aquarius, it will create what is called a Sasha Yoga for them, Mahapurush Sasha Yoga. So this means of, again, elevation, accomplishment, etc. If for example, for Aries Ascendant, what happens if Jupiter is in their 4th house, which is Cancer, and it will be exalted, or if it is in their 9th house, which is their Sagittarius, then it creates a Hamsa Yoga, again, of success, because it's gone into, it's really strong. It's exalted or in own sign. In that case, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn can create these Mahapurush yogas. So please watch these videos about them so you can actually enhance your knowledge of these yogas. Thank you. Hello, this video is for Aquarius Ascendant or Aquarius Moon using a sidereal zodiac. So let's have a look at the month for you. Oh, got to go one more ascendant. Okay, so here we are. August 2022. This is quite a good month in the sense that planets are pretty strong and in own sign and everything. So first of all, let's start with your ruler Saturn. So Saturn rules 1st and 12th house. So it's in the 12th house. So you obviously, because it's retrograde as well, you know there are things to be reviewed about yourself, about generally what you want to do, where, you know, your spirituality, the expenses that occurred, all of those things are very much like, you know, had I spend money? Was I poorly? You know, recouping from things, you know, even travel, really, all those sort of things that are to do. Maybe you've held yourself back a little bit and you're working through some stuff too. And so this is going to be the theme for the next few months. And it's really good to just go within and just get the answers. And then when it finally comes into your 1st house, Saturn does, then, you know, things will be really clear. So, you know that there's some expenses and losses going on, and, you know, a little bit like pulling away from the world and actually working through some stuff whilst this is happening. Saturn is also making you sort of, also just remember when you're at home, just be careful about, like, you know, all those habits that we can form, eating too much, maybe drinking too much, maybe sleeping too much, maybe over exercising and over exerting yourself. Just be aware of those things too. Worst thing of, you know, one of those other things that can be really bad too is just like you're bored and you're just on your phone and just like keep ordering things, you know, there's all those unwanted. But, you know, Saturn is in good dignity, so it's not too bad. The co-ruler of your ascendant is also Rahu. Rahu is in the 3rd house, does exceptionally well in the 3rd house. So Saturn wants you to, Rahu wants you to learn new skills, communicate with others, learn a foreign language, maybe travel a little bit, maybe like, you know, getting contact with your siblings, friends that you haven't seen for a while, that kind of thing. And just be more active, like moving, exercising, walking, and Mars being there as well. Both of these planets really work very well in the 3rd house. Mars is very strong. It's creating a really, you know, strong yoga there for you. It's however in the 3rd house, because it is like it's the whenever, you know, you've got like the significator of a house in that house, that can create some problems. So it could be some word exchanges with your siblings that you could upset the sibling or something. But, you know, just try and soothe through it, because there's no point falling out with somebody, just like that. It's not good. Then you have Jupiter. Jupiter rules for you your second and 11th house, nice and strong in the second house. So, it's kind of like, and you're enjoying family, you're enjoying nice food, and everything can make you eat too much too. And so just be aware, it also makes you very good at spending money too. So that's definitely not good. But it's also aspecting, so I'm just going to go through the aspects now. So Jupiter is aspecting from there because it's going to be there for a while. So you can earn the money, but you might want to be spending too much money as well. But it's really good to just be like being aware of your health, not eating too much, because it's also aspecting the 6th house. So eating, but eating good food, and will be better for you. And obviously it's aspecting the sun being your 7th lord. So when it's in the 6th house, if there's any quarrels or anything, any issues, then Jupiter is actually just helping that out for you. And it's also aspecting what is for you, like your 8th house. So so there could be some sudden gains for you, or it could just be that if there are, it's probably making you want to do more things to do with psychotherapy, because this is also house of research, and it's house of health too, health and healing in Virgo. So it could be that it's giving you that reflection and wanting you to get well, and maybe you want to go become more dynamic in your ways and things, learn some Tai Chi, some yoga and things, mindfulness. It's really good at doing that, so it's going to help you with that. And it's also aspecting what would be like your 10th house of career too. So you could also be doing some, because this 8th house 10th house is being aspected by 2nd and 11th house. So it just means actually you don't have to work as hard, and you gain the money easier because of that aspect. And also Mars, the ruler of your 10th house, nice and strong. So doing things, learning new skills, working with other people, colleagues, and even siblings, and just really because Rahu, there's this house of speaking. So communicating with others, inspirational talks and things like that will really help that too, with the help of Jupiter. Now Saturn also from there, obviously, as you said, is aspect in your 3rd house of 3rd house is away, which is your 2nd house. So putting effort into your family, into your savings, is trying to sort of set, it is also making you spend money, to be honest, but it also could be like putting effort into not spending so much, but actually spending time with family rather than spending money, or spending money on the family. And it's also aspect in your 6th house. Aspect of 6th house of Saturn is pretty good, because obviously it's significator of the 6th house. So it kind of makes you be more, be more of service to the others. And it's also aspecting obviously 9th house too, and you got K2 there, so, and also Mars aspect in your 9th house. So it could be that the education is creating some expenses for you, and it could be like your dad, you maybe need some help with finances, or you're asking your dad for some help for that. But nonetheless, though, whatever happens, just be really careful traveling abroad. Could also be challenges to do with your higher education, belief system, all of that kind of thing. But because there's so many benefics, too many malefics having an influence on your 9th house, I'll be very aware of your if you're going traveling, make sure you kind of research things well. Make sure you check in with your dad. You might also get some really kind of gurus or bosses, gurus during this time, which you have some sort of karma with. But in terms of learning to do with belief system, universe is going to give you the spiritual healers or gurus to help you with this, because also Saturn is also aspecting where it's exalted too, so it's not all bad. So that's that. I've done that else. And Mars obviously rules 3rd and 10th house. Is also aspecting the Sun. So again, Sun is indicator of dad. So be aware of your dad during this time. It's obviously aspecting 9th house, as we said. And Mars also is aspecting the 9th house, wanting you to put effort into your education, publishing, that kind of all that kind of things too. And it's also aspecting your 10th house, which is really good for career because it's so strong as well, and protecting own sign. So Venus rules for you 4th house and the 5th house. So it also rules for you your 9th house. So during this time, it's creating a really nice, what would be, excuse me, Raja Yoga, 4th house ruling the 5th house, really nice, really enjoying family, kiddies, having parties, family get-togethers, going to the cinema, connecting with, family in that sense, all your loved ones. And also, it's it's also rules the 9th house, so it's in good condition there. So that is to be remembered. And also Sun, although it's in the 6th house, it's about your relationships too, but it's also being aspected by Jupiter, which is a benefic, and also either side of the Sun you have 2 wonderful benefics, Geminids, so that really protects 6th house of health and healing too, and also debts and enemies, that kind of thing. So things, although might be, like you got malefics, but there's benefics helping you too. These are all the challenges that we have, but for me around the world, Saturn Sun has been difficult since the middle of July. This comes to an end on the 17th when Sun moves, but until then, obviously, we're just going to have to just be aware. You be aware of yourself as well, because obviously Saturn rules your 1st house. And the other thing was, obviously, this could be like very much like a lot of leaders are still stepping down until or being told that they need to step down around the world, and we're going to get some new leaders coming in, because once Sun goes into Leo, Rahu will be aspecting it, so new people coming through. Hopefully they've got our back, not their own. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, so we've got, like, obviously Moon is 6th house ruling in the 8th house, actually, because that creates a Viparit Raj Yoga. Just means that through some difficulties and obstacles, then you get some fruits from it. And here we are, first day of the month to actually put your intentions out. It's 4th or 5th, depending on where you live, so you want to just check the times. This is also nice because, it's Moon K2. It's quite good to makes you quite psychic, makes you get really good downloads. It's, it's quite nice. It could also be that, you are feeling like you, because also Mars is aspecting that Moon too. So it could just be that you are getting some kind of service to dad. You are sitting, you're just kind of there supporting your dad. And also it's good for education too, in that term. So if you're doing some sort of medical educational work, that's pretty good too. Okay, so let's keep going. We'll have Moon for a couple of days, debilitated in your 10th house. But this is also what happens with this is a Moon that's also makes you very service oriented at work too. Venus, in the meanwhile, has actually gone into, this is like Yoga Karaka planet, is now in the 6th house, which means that's not very good for the yogas that it would normally make of success. There's going to be some challenges to that. And also being with the Sun, it doesn't like the Sun, and is sitting in Cancer, doesn't like to be in Cancer. And any planet sitting with the Sun is completely eclipsed, because Sun is so bright. So during this time, if you meet anyone, any new person of love interest, just just get to know them, you know, don't commit, you know, in any way. Get to know them, because what you see is not necessarily what it will be eventually. So take your time getting to know them. It could also be that, you know, like obviously this rules mum. Mum has gone into the fourth house. It could be that your mum is just, you know, maybe not feeling herself, or you know, there might be some arguments between mum and dad or something like that. But it's a Sattvic sign, so it will just work its way through, and it's not going to last very long time. Mercury, obviously, for you also rules fifth and eighth house. I forgot to say that. And the whole of the first few, you know, till the 21st, really, it's going to be in Leo, in your seventh house. So Mercury in the seventh house would be really nice to just connect and chat to your friends, do fun things with your partner, with your other people. It's you know, because it's fifth house really in the seventh house, this is really going to help you with just like enjoyment, doing fun things with your partner, partying and having fun. Eighth house doesn't make that much difference, doesn't break any yogas, but it could just be that you're quite amorous towards your partner too. So, okay. And just wanted to say, obviously, Venus is not comfortable with the sun or in the sign, but it's getting help from Saturn. So that is actually Venus, Saturn are helping this Sun Saturn issue that the whole world is experiencing. Okay, so then we have Moon in your 11th house. So maybe you're doing some competitive sport. Sixth house is competitive sport with your friends, groups of friends, or doing some community work with your friends too. And then now on the 10th, we have 10th, 11th, depending on where you are, we have a situation where Mars leaves your third house, goes into fourth house. So it's in sort of like neutral sign in Taurus. But what it does, it leaves Rahu on its own, the third house, which is much better. And so remember that Mars in the fourth house, it can act debilitated. So, you know, it could just be that mum, you know, you put in lots of energy maybe to your home, or thinking about moving because third house rule is in the fourth house. Or it could be that you're changing some things, you're decorating, putting some energy into your home, you know, into spending time with mum, or, you know, spending maybe cleaning or doing some revamping of or repairing of your car as well. But that Mars is also aspecting your 10th house of career, which is fantastic. It rules that house, so it's protecting it. That's pretty amazing. So, and so yeah, that happens on that day. And then the next day, on the 11th, we have like a full moon in your 12th house. So now it's all about like you're thinking about healing if you've been poorly, if dad has been poorly or something. This is all about like family, like supporting one another if somebody's been poorly, you know, or they've had expenses, they've had losses, anything like that. You getting together and helping each other out with spouse and children and everything. So it's just more like maybe his 12th house is also travel. So maybe you're having a bit of a, you know, family time, going away together to a healing place, to a spa, somewhere just like relax. And then we have moon in your first house, feeling like you want to just like looking after you, you know, might want to start some form of exercise or something. But this is also moon and Mercury are opposite each other. So this situation, what happens is obviously what happens, we can overthink because this planet of mind, this is planet of thinking process. They're both fast moving. So during this time, this next couple of days, 12th and the 13th, we could literally exhaust ourselves just thinking. And, you know, sometimes we could give a lot of energy to our thinking and it doesn't serve us at all. So this couple of days are exactly that, really. We could also end up arguing with our children for no reason. Sorry, the ascendant just moved. Okay. So, okay. So moon goes into the second house, with some, maybe the whole family are thinking about like changing some eating habits there. Moon Jupiter do quite well, even though Moon, I know it's a sixth house ruler, but it's quite, it's you know, it's a mild malefic really. And so yeah, family, maybe eating together, and maybe a group exercise as a family going on there. Or maybe you're settling the debt that you had out of your savings for family or for yourself. Now, Moon in Ashwini on the 16th, where you can actually put your intentions out again. Very nice. And then Sun goes into, actually, it goes in the 17th. Sun goes into own sign. So seventh house ruler in the seventh house, nice and strong now. So this is lovely. And it's still between two benefics, hemmed. So that's really nice. But it is getting aspected from Mars, so it could be that you put in lots of energy into your family, fifth house, children, education, advice, and spending time with your partner. So then we'll have Moon joins Mars in your fourth house. Moon has got directional strength there, but it could just be that, you know, if mum is a bit poorly, you're there to support her. Or it could just be that you are doing some sort of work in the community, fourth house community, helping like mothers or something, families. Then Mercury goes in own sign on the 21st, nice and strong. Mercury in the 8th house is so amazing. I mean, literally, whatever answers you want, you can research, you know. So if you want to look after yourself, your healing, your health, your education, your work, or anything like that, you know, you can research things really well. And this is a really practical, dynamic Mercury, and they can compartmentalize, get the answers to all the things. So this is pretty good for education. Could also be like changes to the education too, because fifth house ruler being in the 8th house too. So, and it's being aspected by Jupiter. So Jupiter in own sign, Saturn in own sign, Sun in own sign, Mercury in own sign. Absolutely amazing. So amazing. And I just wanted to say that when Moon was there, you know, when was that? Sort of like, let's go back. There was an exchange. There we are. So 19th and 20th was in an exchange with Venus. So it was exalted in the fourth house Moon, which is lovely. And Venus was in the sixth house. So it could be that all the family, you know, are actually healthy eating, exercising, getting out there, getting lots of fresh air, walking, doing all those nice things. Okay, so let's continue. Now, Moon will be with Venus. Sorry, the ascendant keeps moving. For a couple of days, we'll have Venus and Moon together in the sixth house. So again, you know, sort of very much like healing time. You know, maybe like you're doing a little detox at home. Maybe you're just like literally like you know, making the most of like doing lots of walking, doing some sporty stuff too, fitness, Tai Chi, all that kind of things will all do you good. Okay, so now we have what would be like a new moon in your seventh house. You're thinking about relationships and all those things in the relationship that you want to actually like, you know, if there are any issues, you want to like work on them, really work. Sixth house is working on something to just make you happy, make your partner happy. So this is what is going to be the focus now for the next 2 weeks. Then I have Moon Mercury for a couple of days. And look at that, you're being hemmed by two benefics on this side and one on that side. So your seventh house is being protected. And also obviously Jupiter is blessing your sixth house as well. So there's nothing you can't actually achieve during this time. Jupiter will be there aspect in your 6th house for a long time. So any family or money issues or mum health, dad, anything like that, will just help you with that. And Venus and Saturn help each other as well. You know, so nice now. You know, since 17th, you don't have the sun there. Okay, so you know, this could make you overthink things as well. So just be aware of that. But it's good, just like planning things. This is mine. This is, you know, thinking process. Maybe you plan things in order to get your health up, the whole family health, and exercise routines, eating habits, nutrition, healing, Reiki, massage. And then we finish the month with another go at putting our intentions out. So this is pretty good. Another go. But look at that. All these very strong planets, Saturn, Jupiter, own sign, Sun and own sign, Mercury in own sign. And now also, literally, what happens towards the end, Venus goes into your 7th house. Although it's not really doesn't like being there, but nonetheless, though, it's the 5th house ruler, in, you know, 4th house ruler, and also what is your 9th house ruler in the 7th house. So it does create nice yogas there too. But yeah, feeling beautiful. You know, Venus Sun gives beauty, so you're enjoying being around other people. So that's it from me, folks. I'll see you next month. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.